Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So thank you all for joining in for the Chaitanya Charitamrita session. Very interesting section where we are seeing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is accepting prasadam and giving opportunities to serve, opportunities of service to everyone. So we will see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's journey today as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is traveling to various places like Kulyagram, Shantipur, Ramkeli, Kanai Nadshala. But then finally, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has a plan. What is the plan? I want to go to Vrindavan alone. I don't want to take anybody with me, because if devotees are there with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they feed him. They don't allow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to practice any austerities. So like that. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants to go alone. So let's see if he really manages to go alone. So we'll start with the prayers. Before that, we will sing this beautiful kirtan that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sang when he went on his South India Yatra. Today is Bhadra Purnima, the most auspicious occasion on which the last day, the 7 days of Bhagavata Saptaha, if I can say, that happened between Shukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. So today is the last day of the Bhagavata Saptaha, right? And Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of all Vedic literatures. Bhagavad Gita teaches us how to live. Bhagavatam teaches us how to leave the world. But Chaitanya Charitamrita is the highest, right? It teaches us how to love, right? So with that consciousness, let's sing this beautiful song. Not a song, but a kind of a bhajan or a kirtan sung by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then we'll jump into Mangalacharan prayers, and then we'll go on with our verses. Today we will be covering Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhyalila, chapter 16, verse 208 onwards. We'll try to cover as much as possible. So let's see what is in store. Krishna 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 He Krishna 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 He Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Pahimam Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rakshomam Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rakshomam Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Pahimam Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rakshama Krishna 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 He Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Gurudev Gurudev Nittai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Today is also the sannyas anniversary of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada 1959 September, on the auspicious occasion of Bhadra Purnima, he took his sannyas initiation from Bhakti Prajna Keshava Swami Maharaj. At that time, when he took sannyas, we were just reading that he, although not in the sannyas attire, he had already taken the mood of that of a sannyasi, right? Because he was already preaching, he was already writing Back to Godhead magazines, already he was going out and preaching the message of Krishna consciousness. But now he was taking sannyas to actually fulfill the prediction what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave, right? Nagaradi grama sarvatra hoibe prachar mora nama. Today in every part of the world, in every part of the universe, if Hare Krishna Mahamantra is chanted across, even across the borders of India, right? Then all the credit goes to Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. His Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada Sannyas Anniversary Mahamahotsava ki jai. Bhadra Purnima Mahamahotsava ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Srila Gurudev ki jai. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Prijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Shakanvitamscha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradhayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauradushe Namaha Panchatattva Atmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavanishwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Mande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Dharale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. So again, welcome all of you for this Chaitanya Charitamrita session, which is going to teach us how to love the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. So yeah, we were discussing about how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants to visiting various places, and finally he wants to go to Vrindavan alone. Right? We are on text number 208. Like always, devotees can raise your hands, and then we can recite these wonderful verses of Chaitanya Charitamrita for the pleasure of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Right? We want to please satisfy and please Guru and Gauranga. All right, Shobha Mataji, I can see your hand up. So can you kindly recite the verse? Madhava Das. Okay. Madhava Dasa Grahe Tatha Shachira Nandana.
Madhava Dasa Graha Tatha Shachira Nandana.
Laksha Koti Loka Tatha Paila Darshana.
Laksha Koti Loka Tatha Paila Darsana. Translation by Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Am I audible, Mataji?
Yes.
Okay. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. When the Lord stayed at the house of Madhava Dasa, many hundreds of thousands of people came to see him. Hare Krishna,
Yeah.
Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to this place known as Kuliya Pahadapura, right? And then there is a entire history of Madhava Das, what his entire family history is given here, right? How they were three brothers, who was a father, who was a son, and everyone. And they basically invited Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for prasadam, and the Lord stayed there for 7 days, and he delivered all kinds of offenders and sinners. Shatadina rahi tatha lokanista lila sabha aparadi gane prakara tarila. Right? He delivered all different kinds of offenders and sinners. Okay, Karpagavali Mataji. Text number 210. Shantipura Acharya Grihe Aiche Aila.
Shantipura Acharya Grihe Aiche Aila.
Shachi Mata Mili Tara Dukha Kandaila.
Sachi Mata Mile Tara Dukha Kandaila. Translation by Prabhupada ki jai. After leaving Kuliya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited the house of Advaita Acharya at Shantipura. It was there at the Lord's mother, Sachimata, met him and was thus relieved of her great unhappiness. Thank you, Mother.
Yeah. Thank you. So here, why is Shachimata relieved of her great unhappiness? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taken sannyas, and as a sannyasi, he cannot remain in the same kshetra for a long time unless he's a kshetra sannyasi, right? But so Shachimata actually told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, please stay in Jagannath Puri, right? Although he's in Navadvip, it is said Navadvip and Jagannath Puri are like the two doors of the same house. So Shachimata will know what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is doing, like that. So now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has went to so many places. He visited Kulyagram, then he visited Shantipur, and in all this time, and finally he's coming to meet Shachimata, and Shachimata is so happy to see his son back. A great unhappiness was because her son was traveling, her son was not always with her, like that. Okay, text number 211. Sindhu Mataji, you can read. Taberama keli grame prabhu yaicha gela.
Taberama keli grame prabhu yaicha gela.
Nata shala haite prabhu punaha piri aila.
Natashala haite prabhu punha piri aila. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Lord then visited the village known as Ramakeli and the place known as Kanai Natashala. From there, he returned to Shantipura. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So he went to Ramakeli. Ramakeli should strike a bell, right? Ramakeli was a place where he met Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. And then he goes to a place called Kanai Natashala. And then he returns to Shantipur. Shantipur is where Advaita Acharya is there. Yeah. Shantipure Puna Kaila Dashadina Vasa Vistari Varniya Chena Vrindavana Dasa. And then here he also stays in Shantipur for 10 days, right? Where this has already been described by Vrindavan Das Thakur. What has Vrindavan Das Thakur written? Vrindavan Das Thakur has written Chaitanya Bhagavat, right? Every time Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, says that I am not describing everything that Chaitanya that is described in Chaitanya Bhagavat by Vrindavan Das Thakur, because Vrindavan Das Thakur is Vyasadev of Chaitanya Leela. So what am I doing? Those things which Vrindavan Das Thakur has not elaborately described in Chaitanya Bhagavat, that only I'm going to describe in great detail in Chaitanya Charitamrita. That's what he's saying. Ateva iha tarana kailuna vistara puna rukti haya granta bhada ye apara. If I were to repeat everything, then this book will become so big and unlimitedly increase the size of the book that he's saying. All right, Krishnamurti Prabhu, text number 214-215. Tara madhya milila yaiche rupa sanatana.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Tara madhya milila yaiche rupa sanatana.
Narsimhananda kaila yaiche patera sajana.
Narsimhananda kaile yaiche patera sajana.
Sutra madhya se lila amita varnilum.
Sutra madhya se lila amita varnilum.
Ativa punaha taha ihana likhilum.
Teva punaha taha iha na dakinahum. Translation by Bhakti Bhanda Prabhupada ki jai. Those narrations tell how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met the brothers Rupa and Sanatana and how Drishyamananda decorated the road. I have already described these in an earlier synopsis of this book. Therefore,
I will not repeat the narrations here. So this we already studied in the Adilila also, and then we also studied in the Madhyalila, right? So he's saying I'm not repeating it again, but then we will go ahead with the other pastimes like that. Punarapi Prabhuya Dishanti Pura Aila Raghunatha Dasa Asi Prabhu Re Nilila. Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he came to Shantipura, who came to meet him? Raghunatha Dasa Goswami. Immediately what we should think? Panihatti Chidadahi festival, right? Raghunath Das Goswami was punished by Nityananda Prabhu, and how he was asked to serve Chidadahi to all of the people there, and all the neighboring villages they also came. And Raghunath Das organized a very, very beautiful festival. And the Nityananda Prabhu, he himself had the Chidadahi 2 pots. One is with milk and one is with curd. And Nityananda Prabhu also called Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and in this way they enjoyed wonderful pastimes. So now we are going to discuss in further detail about who is Raghunath Das Goswami, who are his parents, and all of that. Hiranya Govardhana Dui Sahodara Saptagrame Bhara Laksha Mudrara Ishwara. Right? So Hiranya and Govardhan, they were 2 brothers, and they were living in Saptagram, and they were very rich. Why? Because they had an annual income of 12 lakh rupees. So their entire family history is given here, and also where the village of Saptagram is located. So we can go through these purport in our leisure. But the point here is Raghunatha Das Goswami actually comes from a very, very affluent family, right? So that is what it is. Maheshwarya Yukta Duhe Vadanya Brahmanya Sadachari Satkulina Dharmika Agraganya. Okay, Rajya Lakshmi Mataji. Okay, you can read the next verse. I'll just read the translation. Both Hiranya Majumdar and Govardhan Majumdar, very, very opulent and magnanimous. At the same time, right, generally people who are very rich, okay, they don't follow Brahminical culture because they have a lot of money, they have this false ego. I can control everything. And generally they don't have very bad habits. But Hiranya Majumdar and Govardhan Majumdar were not like that. Although very opulent, although very magnanimous, although very opulent, they were very magnanimous, and they were devoted to Brahminical culture. They were following their dharma, although they were very rich, although they were very affluent like that. Okay. Then which verse were we in? 200 and Raghunath Das came to meet, and then there's description of Saptagram, and then there's description of Raghunath Das Goswami's relative. Yeah. Okay. Rajya Lakshmi Mataji, go ahead. Nadiya Vasi Brahmanera Upajibya Praya.
Nadiya Vasi Brahmanera Upajaiva Praya.
Artha Bhumi Grama Diya Karena Sahaya.
Artha Bhumi Grama Diya Karena Sahaya. Translation by Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Practically all the Brahmins residing in Nadia were dependent on the charity of Hiranya and Govardhana, who gave them money, land, and villages. You want me to read the purport, Mataji?
No, Mataji. We just discussed. So, Artha, Bhumi, and Grama. Artha means wealth, money. Bhumi means land. Grama means villages. Diya Karena Sahaya. Sahaya means help, right? In order to help the villagers, what did Hiranya and Govardhana do? They actually supplied with money, land, and villages to all the Brahmanas who are staying in Nadia. Nadia Vasi, who is staying in Nadia, Brahmanera Upajibya Praya. That means those of them who were dependent on Hiranya and Govardhana, they were supporting them with everything, whatever they needed. 220. Nilambara Chakravarti Aradhya Duhara Chakravarti Kare Duya Bharatir Vyavahara. So we all know Nilambar Chakravarti. Nilambar Chakravarti is an astrologer, right? He only predicted that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord himself. He's the maternal grandfather of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The grandfather of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was worshipped by the 2 brothers. But Nilambar Chakravarti used to treat them as his own brothers, like that. Mishra Purandare Purve Karya Chena Sevane Ateva Prabhu Bala Jane Dui Jane. Right? Formerly, these two brothers had rendered much service to Mishra Purandara. Mishra Purandara is another name of Jagannath Mishra. Right? Jagannath Mishra is the father of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His another name is Mishra Purandara. Right? We can see the last name, Mishra, is the same. Because of this, the Lord knew them very well. Because they had done service to his father. Okay, Krishnamurti Prabhu, you can read. Se Govardhanera Putra Raghunatha Dasa.
Sei Govardhanera Putra Raghunatha Dasa.
Bhalya Kala Haite Teho Vishaye Udasa.
Balya Kala Haite Tenho Vishaya Udasa.
So this Govardhana. Yes, Prabhu, go ahead.
Raghunatha Dasa was the son of Govardhana Manju Madara. From childhood, he was uninterested in material. Majumadara. Oh, from childhood, he was uninterested in material enjoyment. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So this Govardhan Majumadar, who is very, very rich, who's very, very opulent, who's very magnanimous, who's helping all the villagers, he is the father of our Raghunatha Dasa Goswami. Yet, being the son of such an opulent person, who's a very magnanimous person, who has all the good qualities, helping Brahmanas, yet Raghunatha Dasa Goswami's focus was, how can I escape all of this and go in the service of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? So let's see what he's going to do. Sanyasakari Prabhu Yabe Shantipura Aila Tabe Asi Raghunatha Prabhu Re Milila. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Shantipur, Raghunatha Das also came to Shantipur and met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prabhu Racharane Pade Prema Vishtahaya Prabhu Pada Sparsha Kaila Karuna Kariya. Raghunatha Das went to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He fell at the Lord's lotus feet and showing him mercy, the Lord touched him with his own lotus feet. In this way, Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, who's one of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, right? Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunatha, Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunatha. So this is Dasa Raghunath, who's one of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, who's getting the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually placed his lotus feet on the head of Raghunatha Dasa Goswami. Tara Pita Sada Kare Acharya Sevana, Atheva Acharya Tare Haila Parasanna. So Raghunatha Das' father Govardhan, he did much service to Advaita Acharya also. So Advaita Acharya is one of the very close associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There's only Advaita Acharya, if you remember, he only called to Lord Krishna, saying that this Kali Yuga is very bad, right? We cannot preach the message of Krishna consciousness in this Kali Yuga. So in order to preach the message of Krishna, oh Krishna, you have to come personally. In this way, Advaita Acharya worshipped the Shaligram Shila with Ganges and Tulasi. And in this way, Krishna accepted the prayers of Advaita Acharya and he came in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Advaita Acharya ki jai. So, how did Advaita Acharya know Govardhan family? Acharya Prasada Paila Prabhura Uchishta Pata Prabhura Charana Deke Dina Panchashata. When Raghunatha Das was there, Advaita Acharya favored him by giving him the food remnants left by the Lord. Raghunatha Das was just engaged for 5 or 7 days in rendering service to the Lord's lotus feet. Right? What better benediction than getting the prasadam of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? And Advaita Acharya was the instrument through which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prasadam was received by Raghunatha Dasa Goswami. What is that verse? Bhaktapada Duliyara Bhaktapada Jala Bhakti Bhukta Avasheshati Mahabhala. There are 3 things that give us spiritual strength in this path of bhakti. There are 3 things that give us spiritual strength. What are those 3 things? Bhaktapada Duli, the dust from the lotus feet of a devotee. Bhaktapada Jala, the water that has washed the lotus feet of a devotee. Bhaktapada Duliyara Bhaktapada Jala Bhakta Bhukta Avashesha. Avashesha means remnants of the food or the prasadam that's honored by the spiritual master or by a pure devotee of the Lord. Bhakta Bhukta Avashesha. Tina Mahabhala. These are the 3 things very powerful for us to advance in Krishna consciousness, to advance in devotional service. What are the 3 things again? Bhaktapada Duliyara Bhaktapada Jala Bhakta Bhukta Avashesha Tina Mahabhala. the dust of the lotus feet of a pure devotee, the water that has washed the lotus feet of a pure devotee, and the remnants of the prasadam honored by a pure devotee. These three things can really, really make us advance in devotional service. Prabhu tare vidhaya diya gela nila chala teho gare asi haila premita pagala. Premita pagala. Pagal means mad, right? What can be said of a person who's received the personal remnants of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to Jagannath Puri, but even after returning home, Raghunath Das Goswami could not get out of the ecstatic love because of getting the prasadam of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because of getting the dust from the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was in complete ecstasy. Bara bara balayate ho niladri yaite pita tandre bandi rakhe nipata haite. So what did Raghunath Das Goswami do? Having experienced this transcendental rasa of serving Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he did not want to come back to his opulent home. He simply wanted to go to Jagannath Puri and serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But his father kept binding him, bringing him back. Panchapaika tandre rakhe ratri, Panchapaika tare rakhe ratri dhine chari sevaka dui brahmana raheta rasane. What he used to do? He used to keep 5 watchmen guard Raghunath Das Goswami day and night so that he cannot run away from home. Very nice. Ekadasha jana tare rakhe nirantara nila chale aidana paya dukkita antara. Right? In this way, 11 people were always watching over Raghunath Das Goswami so that he could not escape. And this made Raghunath Das Goswami very, very, very unhappy. Ebe yadi Mahaprabhu Shantipura aila shuniya pitare Raghunath nivedila. So Raghunath Das Goswami, he said, I'm not able to run away from this place. There are so many guards here. So he decided that he will submit his request to his father only. What did he say? Raghunath Das said, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has arrived at Shantipura. So can I please go and meet him? Like that. Agya dehayana deki prabhura charana anyatana rahe mora sharira jivana. Raghunath Das Goswami is pleading to his father, please give me permission to go and see the lotus feet of the Lord. If you do not, then my life will not remain within this body. I will rather die than not have the association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shunitara pita bahu lokadravya diya pathaila bali sigra asiha firiya. Hearing this request, Raghunath Das Goswami's father agreed. So he's not a bad man. He's a devotee. He's helpful to everybody. He's very rich. But he does not want his son to go away, right? That's true of every parent. He did not want his son to run away and not be with him. Of course, he wanted to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and come back. And Raghunath Das Goswami's father very easily agreed. So what did he do? He sent him many servants, many things, and objects of offering to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then asked him, return soon. That was his concern. Please return soon. Satadina Shantipure Prabhu Sange Rahe Ratri Divase Mana Katha Kahe. Right? They were doing katha for 7 days. Raghunath Das Goswami got the association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Shantipur, and 7 days and nights he only had the following thoughts. What are the thoughts? Raghunath Das Goswami thought, Raksha kare hate muni kemane chuti bha kemane prabhura sange nila chale yabha. Oh my God, my father has again sent so many servants and watchmen. How can I escape all of them? And how can I go to Nilachal Dham to always engage in the service of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Sarvagnya Gauranga Prabhu Janita Ramana Shiksha Rupe Kahe Tare Ashwasa Vachana. Since Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is omniscient, right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is there in everybody's heart. He is not different from Krishna. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto matha smritiryanam apohanam cha. Krishna is saying, I give remembrance, forgetfulness, and knowledge. Right? So how can he not understand? He is the Supreme Lord himself. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu understood the heart of Raghunath Das Goswami. He understood his mind, and therefore he instructed him with the following reassuring words. Reassuring words means he understood Raghunath Das Goswami is very down. He's telling him these words so as to bring back his enthusiasm. Stira haya gareya o naya ha o vatula krame krame paya loka bhava sindhu kula. Be patient, return home. Slowly, you will be able to cross the ocean of material existence. Don't be a crazy fellow. Gradually, everything will happen. Don't leave don't leave your father abruptly and come here, like that he's telling. Right? And in the purport, very beautiful verse, Prabhupada is quoting here. And Prabhupada is also talking about how this world is an ocean of material existence, right? This is an ocean, Bhava Sagara. Very difficult to cross over this ocean of material existence, which is padam yad vipadam natesham, which is a danger in every step. However, when we do devotional service to the Supreme Lord, Samashritaye pada pallava plavam, Mahat padam punya yasho murare. This ocean of material existence, which is such a big ocean, actually becomes like the water that is contained in the hoof print of a calf. This beautiful verse, let's recite. Samashritaye pada pallava plavam, Mahat padam punya yasho murare. Bhavam budir vatsa padam param padam yati padam natesham. In this world, which is filled with danger at every step, how can we cross? This is very difficult to cross, right? Because it's a vast ocean. But somebody who's engaged in devotional service, for such a person, Krishna will make this ocean of material existence as small as the water that is contained in the hoof print of a calf. Right? What is the water that is contained in the hoof print of a calf? Even a child can jump over and cross and go on to the other side. So like that, this Bhava Sagar, the ocean of material world, can be made like the water contained in the hoof print of a calf by Lord Krishna for his devotee, by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for his pure devotee, or for a sincere devotee. Text number 238, very beautiful verse. This will be the last verse for today because we will discuss this verse in great detail. It's a very, very long purport, and it's also talking about what is Markata Vairagya, what is Falgu Vairagya, then what is Yukta Vairagya. Now we'll discuss this very, very important verse because what is the difference between devotees and non-devotees, right? We also do the same thing. We get up in the morning, we have lunch, we have prasadam, we have breakfast, we go to office, we come back home, we have lunch prasadam, we have dinner prasadam, we have a family, we have loving relationships in our family. So what is the difference? That is what we will see in 238. And then finally, 239, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives his instructions to Raghunath Dasa Goswami, and then he asks him to go home. He says, you go home, be with your family, yet when the time comes, you can leave everything and come, but don't become a false renunciant. Very, very important verse, 238. Markata vairagya na karaloka dekhaya yatha yogya vishaya bunja anasakta haya. Right? Don't make yourself, okay, Krishnamurti Prabhu very patiently is putting up his hand. Yes, Prabhu, please recite the verse. Markata vairagyana karaloka dekhaya. Are you there, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
Markata vairagyana karaloka dekhana. Yatha
yogya vishaya bunja anasakta haya.
Yatha yogya vishaya bhujana anasakta hana.
Yeah, haya. When n on top of n, when there is a mark like that, then it has to be pronounced as haya. Dekhaya, haya, like that. Okay.
Anasakta haya. Thank you, Mataji. Translation by A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada ki jai. You should not make yourself a show bottle, devotee, and become a false renunciant. For the time being, enjoy the material world in a befitting way and do not become attached to it. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yeah, purport also you can read, Prabhu, and then we'll discuss the purport. All right. So we'll discuss the purport first, and then we'll come back to it. Okay. So very, very beautiful translation, right? Do not make yourself a show bottle devotee. What is a show bottle devotee, right? The externals, we are kanti mala. I mean, we're having a tilak and kanti mala, sari. All the externals are there. But what is our internal consciousness? Are we attached to this material world? Are we attached to everything about this material world? So that is false renunciation, right? In Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says, Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsan Sangasteshu Pajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kama Kama Krodho Vijayate. Right? So what does it all start? It all starts with lust. Right? When we contemplate Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsan, when we contemplate on an object which we think will gratify our senses, then what happens? We contemplate on the enjoyment. Right? Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsan, and then Sangat Sanjayate. What is that? Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsan Sangasteshu Pajayate. So we want to associate with that object which we think will give us sense gratification. And then what happens? Sanjat Sanjayate Kama Kama Krodot Vijayate. And the more we are contemplating on that object which will give us sense gratification, we are developing lust. We are developing lust for that particular object. And when we are actually developing lust for it, right? And sometimes we think, right? Oh, what will the other people think of me? I'm just so lusty about this, having this pizza or whatever. I'm so lusty. Let me try to show as if I'm not interested in having the pizza. Right? When nobody is there, then we will pounce on the pizza and have it. But when others are there, no, it's not prasadam. I don't want to have it. Right? So externally, we are all dressed as a very beautiful Vaishnava, Tilak Kanti. Right? Everything is there. But our consciousness, what are we doing? Our heart is hankering to do sense gratification. Right? This is what is a show bottle devotee. We are showing others a different picture, whereas we know ourselves what we are, isn't it? So Prabhupada is telling here, do not become a false renunciant. Offer the pizza to Krishna and have nice Krishna prasadam, isn't it? Why do we have to become a false renunciant? This is Yukta Vairagya. Whatever we want to do, we offer it to Krishna. Of course, we have to follow the four regulative principles, right? And Krishna says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam, right? So you have to ensure that the pizza is made of the ingredients that are offerable to the Lord. We offer it to Krishna, and then we have nice, wonderful, yummy Krishna prasadam pizza, isn't it? And we need not become a false renunciant. Right? We enjoy the material things by offering it to Krishna. That's why this beautiful word, I think we are discussing this word in every session. This is dovetailing our propensities. If we like to sing, we sing Krishna bhajans. If we like to dance, we dance for Krishna. If we like to cook, we cook nice bhojan for Lord, offer it to Krishna, and then have nice Krishna prasadam. So whatever we like to enjoy, we offer it to Krishna, and then we enjoy the nice, wonderful, tasty Krishna prasadam. But do not become attached to it. When we become attached to something, then what happens? When it is taken away, we want to pursue it. We want to endlessly follow it. But we should understand that whatever we have is given by the Lord to us. Right? And it has come without much endeavor. So when it is taken away also, it's fine. Whatever else I have, whatever is given to me by the Lord, I will use that in the Lord's service, and I will have nice Krishna prasadam. So that is a real renunciation. Right? What is that verse in Nectar of Devotion? Anashaktasya vishayan yatadham upayunjataha nirbhanda Krishna sambandhe yukta vairagyam uchyate. Anashaktasya vishayan yatadham upayunjataha. What is that? Anashaktasya. That means I'm not attached to anything. Vishayan. I'm not attached to any sense objects. Anashaktasya vishayan. Yatarham upayunjataha. But at the same time, I don't reject it. Right? Okay, I will not use this laptop. This is material. I will not use this speaker. This is also material. Yeah. So I will not use this mobile phone. This is also material. Right? But that is not real renunciation. What is actual renunciation? Yatarham upayunjataha. Right? In this mobile, I'm having nice Krishna conscious groups. Right? Where I get the messages, where I get daily Krishna conscious messages. Where I get to post some Krishna consciousness messages, right? So it helps me. I'm able to watch YouTube lectures of Madhyalila Prabhu, Amarendra Prabhu, Madan Sundar Prabhu, Radhesham Prabhu, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj, like that. So I'm utilizing all of this in the service of the Lord. I'm not rejecting the mobile. I'm using the mobile to hear Krishna Katha. I'm not rejecting this laptop. I'm referring to the Veda base, right? That's why we have reading, sharing the screen of Veda base. So I'm not rejecting the laptop. I'm utilizing the laptop of how I can preach the message of Krishna consciousness, right? Like that. This pen, I'm not writing some nonsense with the pen and paper. I'm utilizing it. Prabhupada utilized the typewriter. Prabhupada utilized the pen and paper to write Krishna conscious philosophy, to get that printed. Use the printing press. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, this is Brihad Mridanga, right? Like that, we can utilize everything in the service of Krishna. But if we don't utilize it, but rather what do we say? Oh, I'm rejecting it, right? While our heart is hankering for it, but externally we are saying, oh, I don't want it. I will not use it. This is material. That is what is described here in this verse as Markata Vairagya. Markata. They say, don't shed crocodile tears. Right? There is no tears coming out. There is no actual repentance, but we act as if tears are coming from my eyes. I'm so sorry. I should not have done that. But in my heart, I'm just thinking, oh, let me just get out of the situation by just, giving some crocodile tears, right? We say crocodile tears in English. So Markata actually means crocodile tears or false renunciation. We don't feel it in our heart, but the tears are just pouring out just to give a show bottle, attitude to others, right? So similarly here, that is what is Markata Vairagya, saying that I don't want this, I don't want that, 90, but our heart is craving, right? When we'll all leave so that I can grab on it, right? So that is Markata Vairagya, right? And Prabhupada gives a beautiful example of a monkey. What does a monkey do? Monkey is not wearing anything, right? It seems to be renunciant, completely renounced everything, not wearing any dress, not accepting any clothing, living naked and everything. But by looking at it, we will think, oh, greatest renunciant. But what does a monkey do, right? At the sight of a female monkey, it will start enjoying sense gratification. At the sight of a fruit, it will jump and start eating, right? It will not think a minute. So just external appearance, we cannot say that somebody is a renunciant. If that be the case, monkeys will be the greatest renunciants, isn't it? So that is what Prabhupada is saying here. We don't want to show this kind of renunciation or shmashana vairagya or markata vairagya. That means for the external world, we are showing that I'm not interested in sense gratification, whereas in our heart, we are totally for it. Right? So what is the right way that we have to practice? That is not falgu, but that is yukta vairagyam, right? Yataram upayunjatha, we were discussing that, right? So we utilize everything in the service of the Lord. We don't reject anything. Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe. I'm not attached to it. Today this laptop is available. I will utilize it in serving the Lord. Today this mobile is available. I will utilize it in the service of the Lord. See, I'm not saying what I practice, okay? I'm just trying to explain with examples what is given in this purport. So even I am trying, right, with the blessings of all the Vaishnavas, Guru and Gauranga, someday we have to reach that stage, right? Sometimes if it is a new mobile or it is a new car, right, even a small scratch can cause a scratch in our heart, isn't it? If this mobile is missing, right, suddenly we think, oh my God, what happened to my mobile? Everything else is forgotten. Complete anxiety. Oh, did I leave it in the tuition class? Or did I leave it in the, in the school? Where did I leave it? Oh, everything is gone. This complete anxiety has clouded over us. That's why, because I'm attached to this mobile so much. I'm attached to this laptop. I'm attached to the car. A small scratch on the car brings a scratch on my heart. Why? Because I'm so much attached to it, right? That is what we should not have, right? Nirbandha. Nirbandha means I'm not attached to it. However, if it is available, so what I will do, Krishna Sambandhe, I'm going to utilize it in the service of the Lord. And what is that called? Yukta Vairagyam Uchyate. That is real renunciation. That is not Markata renunciation. That is Yukta Vairagya. That is real renunciation. This Markata Vairagya, there is another word for it, which is called Falgu Vairagya. Falgu Vairagya is also the same thing. Externally renouncing, internally our heart is craving for it. There is another verse which Prabhupada quotes here in Nectar of Devotion. Prapanchikataya buddhya hari sambandhi vastunaha mumukshubi parityago vairagyam falgu katyate. Right? Any material thing, to renounce it simply at the face value, the renunciation is said to be incomplete. The renunciation is said to be false. And that is what is Falgu Vairagya. So we should not practice Falgu Vairagya. We should actually practice Yukta Vairagya. Right? And Prabhupada finally also says, okay, we'll have Krishnamurti Prabhu still having his hand up. So we'll ask Krishnamurti Prabhu to read this purport. The word Markata Vairagya is used by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So please, can you read this last paragraph, Prabhu? Hare Krishna.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna,
Prabhu.
Mataji.
Yes.
Such a people carry a bead bag and
No. Prabhu, I think you can read all the highlighted portions. Whatever is highlighted, that you can read. Let's go here. Okay. The monkey example we saw. After that, why am I working so hard? Just read only the highlighted portions, Prabhu. Yeah.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Why am I working so hard day and night? Such sentiments naturally arise in the mind of any man who goes to a cremational ghat. However, as soon as he returns from the cremation grounds, he again engages in material activity for sense enjoyment. This is called some Smashana Vairagya or Markata Vairagya.
No, Shamshan. See, Shamshan is what? The cremation ground is Shamshan. Na? See, when somebody dies, when any of our close relative die, and what do? When we go to the Shamshan Ghat or the cremation ground, we think, oh, this life is useless and nothing is really useful in this material world. I should engage myself in the service of the Lord, right? Everything in this world is temporary. Everything dies with the body. We get all realizations. But then we come back home and then we think everybody else in the world will die except me. I am the exception to the rule. That's what we think, right? We start thinking like that. So that is what is given here as Shamshan Vairagya. Shamshan means in the Shamshan or in the cremation ground only, we want to renounce everything and serve the Lord. But when we come back home, we are thinking, let me try to enjoy this world, right? But death will not come to me. I will live long like that. That is called Shamshan Vairagya. Yes, Prabhu. And then you can read this. Anashaktasya Vishayan Yatarham Upayunjataha Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yukta Vairagya Muchyate. Please read. Things should be accepted.
Things should be accepted for the Lord's service and not for one's personal sense gratification. Such people carry a bead bag and chant, but heart they are always thinking about getting women and money, unknown to others. These Markata Vairagya is maintaining women, but externally present themselves as renowned saints. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very much opposed to these Markata Vairagis or
Pseudo Vaishnavas. Pseudo means not actually a Vaishnava, but external appearance is like a Vaishnava, whereas internal characteristic, behavior, sadachar, is like a complete bogi, right? So here we are talking about Bhogavritti, Sevavritti, like we were also discussing in the other class, right? As long as we are engaged in Bhogavritti, that means I want to satisfy my senses. I want to engage in sense gratification. Till such time I am doing this, I cannot progress on the path of bhakti. However, when I develop Sevavritti does not mean I don't enjoy, I don't need happiness, always I should be crying. No, that is not Sevavritti. Sevavritti means I will utilize everything in the service of the Lord. I will accept Krishna Prasadam and I will be happy. Right? We all want to be happy in this life. None of us want to cry. None of us want to be eternally in this miserable condition. That is why we are intelligently practicing Krishna consciousness, accepting Krishna Prasadam, because that will ultimately take us or remove us from this world, which is Dukhalayam and Ashashvatam. Right? In Dukhalayam, we can't expect anything but Dukha. But by following these principles given by Srila Prabhupada, by following Yukta Vairagya, utilizing everything in the service of the Lord, what can we do? We can qualify ourselves, or we can please Guru and Gauranga. And by pleasing them, we can go back home, back to Godhead, where there is Nira Ananda, where there is eternal happiness, right? Okay, what was that? Prema Ananda, right? There is eternal happiness because there is only love that is existing. So, okay, now let's read the last verse for today. What is that verse? Antare nishtakara bhaya loka vyavahara achirat Krishna tomae karibe udhara. For translation by His Divine Grace, Abhicharnaranda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, within your heart, you should keep yourself very faithful, but externally, you may behave like an ordinary man. Thus, Krishna will soon be very pleased and deliver you from the clutches of Maya. So we don't have to change our dress. We don't have to change our externals. What do we have to do? Exactly what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Raghunatha Dasa Goswami. Being a housewife, being an employee in an IT company, being a chartered accountant, being an engineer, being a doctor, being a wife, being a daughter, being a grandmother, being a granddaughter, being a wife, a mother, being a father, a grandfather, anything, whatever is our swadharma. We don't have to change it externally. Internally, we have to make our consciousness always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna, right? Prabhupada gave a very beautiful example in one of his lectures. He was talking about a wife, right? When the wife has a paramour, right? She has another lover. Then what does she do? She does her work so much with concentration, attention, perfectly, that the husband does not doubt her having an extramarital affair, right? I'm not saying we should all have extramarital affairs, but we should have an extramarital affair with our eternal boyfriend who's Krishna, right? We are all amshas of Krishna, and ultimately the goal of life is to serve, satisfy, please, love, and serve Krishna. Right? So as we perform our activities in this world, serving our husband, serving our children, serving our masters, serving our office bosses, everything we will do like a normal person. But in our heart, we know we are working to please Krishna. We know we are working to serve, satisfy, and please Guru and Gauranga. In this way, the bosses will not know. They will think, oh my God, this lady is working so nicely. Let us give her a lot of bonus. Let us give her, promotions. Husband is thinking, oh, she's working so well. Let me help her in her Krishna conscious life. The children are thinking, oh, my mother is doing devotional service so nicely. She's feeding me nice Krishna prasadam, right? Let me also become a nice devotee to please my mother, right? Like that. So the entire world, everybody becomes pleased if some said there, Haritoshanam. If Lord Krishna is pleased with our endeavors, then our husband, our wife, our mother, our father, our sister, our brother, our grandfather, our granddaughter, our grandmother, our bosses, and everybody else, our neighbors, our relatives, everybody will be pleased with us. So we need to satisfy only one person, right? We need not satisfy so many crores, devatas. We don't have to satisfy so many people, so many relatives. But if we simply please one person, Shri Radha Krishna, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Guru, right? If we please Guru, Gauranga is pleased. Very easy formula. If we please Guru, then automatically we please Gauranga. Some said there, Haritoshanam. Then everybody else will be pleased. Right? So that can be one important takeaway from today's session. What is it? We simply serve, satisfy, and please Guru and Gauranga, and then everything else will become perfect in our life. So with this, we will end our session on time. Blessings of all the wonderful devotees who joined in today's session. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. ग्रंथराज श्री चैतन्य चरितामृता की जय, श्री कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी महाराज की जय, श्री वृंदावन दास ठाकुर की जय, चैतन्य चरितामृता की जय, चैतन्य भागवत की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद संन्यास एनिवर्सरी महामहोत्सवा की जय, भद्र पूर्णिमा महामहोत्सवा की जय, श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna. So thank you very much. Everyone can unmute themselves now in case anyone has any query or questions or realizations or anything, anyone wants to share anything. You may do so now. But I want all of you all to switch on your cameras. Because, Darshana Pavitra Kare Ye Tomara Gun, right? I know this one verse. So I always keep quoting this in all my classes to get darshan of all the devotees. All right. Shobha Mataji is eternally ever present with her camera on and a smiling face. Thank you, Mataji. Nav Kishori Mataji, thank you. Karpagavali Mataji is also very, very enthusiastic. Uma Kulkarni Mataji, thank you. Sindhu Mataji, thank you for your darshan. Radha Mataji, and then we have Krishna Murthy Prabhu, the very enthusiastic person who wants to read all the verses, all the translations, and all the purports. Prabhu, you want to take away all the mercy, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. All right. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for your enthusiastic participation. My sincere gratitude to you. All right. So all the other shy devotees, thank you very much for joining in. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu bhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So if there are any questions, we can take them now, or we can meditate on this one thing, that we work to please Guru, Gauranga, and Krishna. Automatically, when we please Guru, we'll please Gauranga and Krishna. So with that, we will end our session today. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much.
Mataji, last
Wonderful
session,
class, Mataji. Lot of takeaways. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Yes.
YouTube, Mataji, that SP that session I was unable to attend, you know. And YouTube it will be there, Mataji.
Yes. It's there on YouTube.
Today's session, I had a meeting and I was not
Yes.
able.
It's there on YouTube, Mataji. I'll post it in the group. All right. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
thank you.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Thank you.